James, why is the Fit20 study unique in its kind?
It's a great question, and I mean, it really is unique for a variety of reasons. Not only is it the probably the largest study in terms of the number of individual persons data that we had for that study of its kind. It's also the longest study, to our knowledge, that has followed people up who we know are engaged in resistance training, and so really, it's unique in the ability to be able to see how strength adapts to continued engagement in resistance training. Our field is so it's filled with short-term studies because it's very difficult to do research. It's very difficult to recruit people. It's very difficult to get them to continue training for a long period of time when you're doing a study. And again, also unique to this data, this is real data from real people out there, training in Fit20 facilities. And so it's not, a lab-based study that feels detached from the real world. It's so it's unique in a lot of respects in terms of its design, and we've also employed some unique ways of modeling that data statistically over time, which has been absent in some of the previous studies that have tried to look at how strength adapts over time with resistance training.
Yeah, good to hear. I'm just curious, what would be normal research populations in terms of exercise physiology or durations?
So the vast majority of studies are often, because they're conducted by academics and universities, the easy population to recruit are university students. So most of them are usually in young male populations, more often than not. And typically studies are anywhere from sort of 6 to 12 weeks on average. But the longest intervention studies that we're aware of only run up to a maximum of 2 years and typically have quite small sample sizes because it's quite hard to obviously keep people involved in a study for that duration. The benefit we had obviously with the Fit20 study is that we didn't need to recruit anyone into the study. Instead, we looked retrospectively back over the data that was collected from individuals over the period of the study. And the data runs up to almost 7 years in total from just shy of 15,000 people, whereas your typical resistance training study would be lucky to be 12 weeks long and maybe have 20 or 30 people involved in it.
All right. So yeah, that definitely indicates the uniqueness of this research. Terrific. Yeah, James. So just to be clear, this research was done on an anonymized data set, right?
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
unique. Yeah.
Yeah. So the data set was obviously from Fit20 clients, but as researchers, we only ever handle the anonymized data set. So it's all handled in accordance with GDPR. We never see any personal data, it's conducted in compliance with the ethical standards of the institution, and the ethical standards that are typical for looking at this kind of data.